Hi everybody, it's Susan from Sunrise Quilt Studio, and in today's video I am sewing together the Christmas Tree of Life quilt, which is right behind me. Now I don't have the borders on this quilt yet. I've just kind of run out of time this week, but I am going to show you how I'm putting this quilt top together. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm following my directions, and first thing it says to sew this set in triangles on first and then the corner triangle. So the set in triangles are the larger ones, the ones that I cut from the 24-inch square. So I have two of those that I need to sew onto this, and I need it on one of the Blackford's Beauty blocks. Now each one of my Blackford Beauty blocks have a different green fabric in them, so it's going to be a little more scrappy. Lay your block out and then lay your triangle out so that you don't get confused. Now you've got two right angles that are going to go together, so you're going to match those up, and you're going to pin all the way down, and you will have quite a bit hanging over on the end. You'll have about maybe an inch at the most, I think, and that is because I did oversize these. I'd rather do that and trim down than have something that's too short and then try and stretch it and get it in place, and we're using bias edges, and that just is not a good thing. So this kind of prevents some of those problems. So I'm going to pin those. Last year I was also wanting to make a tree skirt, but I could not come up with a pattern that I liked. I worked on that for a couple of months and just never came up with anything I liked. So we have a tree skirt that I made when my kids were little. Actually, I think it was probably even before we had kids. All our kids are adopted, and we were married 7 years before our first son, our first child, who is a son, came home to us, and it's hand painted on fabric, and the kids love it because it's bunny rabbits and Christmas lights. It's really cute. And I can't remember whose design it was, but I was into a lot of decorative painting and folk art painting at that point. And it just seemed like a good thing to do. I'll have to get that out and show it to you all at some point. Okay, so there's the first one. Okay, so get this leader off. Okay, so here we have one of the triangles sewn on. Let me get a wider angle here so you can see better. Okay, here we go. And then the other triangle is going to go kind of in the opposite direction. So we're going to go to the opposite side of the block. And just watching my diagram on my directions. And this one is going to go this way. Okay, so I'm going to flip this around. And this time the setting triangle is going to be on top when I sew it, because I never want to start at the point. Okay, pin this one. is that one. Okay, so now I have one of the blocks with a setting triangle on each side, and they're going in opposite directions. And now I need to put the corner triangle on, so that is the smaller triangles. So I'll grab one of those. And for this one, I want to find the center. Now on this one, the bias is on the long edge. So I'm going to crease that and line that up with the center of the block. And I can see my center seam right here. So I don't need to measure or anything. I just need to place it there. And flip it open and pin, and then I'll pin out from there. And being careful once again of those bias edges. Now this quilt is, let's see, 58 inches square, so it would make pretty good size wall quilt, or a lap quilt, or something you put on your table. So it could be what do you call those? Table topper. It's getting late. I'm getting tired. It's the end of the weekend, and I don't know. We did a lot of shopping yesterday, just window shopping, basically, looking at kitchen cabinets and bathtubs and vanities and light fixtures, and we made a few decisions. We confirmed the kitchen cabinets, but what I had already picked out online. I need to press this back. Let me do that. I don't know why I didn't think to press, other than I am tired. I probably shouldn't even be sewing right now, but I just had the urge to quilt. I'm going to go ahead and trim this corner off because my 1/4 inch presser foot will get hung up on that. Oops, then I lost a pin. Okay, line everything back up. Let me trim this one off. And let me go ahead and put a ender on there. Okay, and I'm going to press this one back. Okay, so this is row 1. I'm going to flip this out so we can see it in a little bit. Here is the first row that we have done. I have done. So this one is ready to set aside. Now I need to do the middle one, and then I'll do the end one, and then sew them all 3 together. So there's only 3 rows in this quilt. So there's row 1. This is the corner triangle here, and then this one and the one below are the setting triangles. So I'm going to set this aside and we'll do the next row. Okay, the next row, row 2. Okay, we're going to just put the corner triangles, 2 corner triangles on 2 of the Blackford beauty blocks, and then we're going to sew those to the Tree of Life block. Now I've got directional fabric in these, so I'm going to try and get it. They're not going to be facing upward, they're going to be kind of sideways because the block is on point, but that's kind of the way it goes. Okay, so we're going to do the long edge of the corner triangle. I'm going to find the middle again and then pin it to the block. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and press this triangle back. All right, so here is that. And see, the next block that goes onto this is going to be the Tree of Life block. Let me go ahead and put that one on. And he needs to face this direction. So this one, I'm going to have to match seams. Oh, that looks pretty good. Okay, so here we have that much done. It looks upside down. Let's do it this way. There we go. That's better. Okay, now I need to get one more Blackford's Beauty block. And I want him to lay this direction. And I need a corner triangle. I put my corner triangles on my right hand side and the setting triangles on my left, so that way I don't pick up the wrong one. And I can find my center again and pin. Don't know if you'll be able to see this whole row, but here's the middle row. So we have the corner triangle, the 3 blocks, and another corner triangle. Okay, and I'm going to do the 3rd row. So let me fold this up. I'm going to set it aside. And then we need to do this last row. Okay, this one goes this direction. So now we're going to match the corners at the top of the block. I need to trim these 2 ends off, these little triangles. You can use your rotary cutter to do this. You don't have to use your scissors. Okay, now the corner triangle. After this, we just have to sew the 3 rows together, so that's 2 seams. And then trim it down if it's needed, and then do the borders, which I'm going to tackle another night. And I'm going to go ahead and sew that to rows 2 and 3, or row 2. And I'm going to trim off these dog ears here. Okay, so the Tree of Life block is going to match up with the Blackford's Beauty block. So I'm going to pin that one first. Okay, I've got this pinned up on my little clothes rack here. So there is the quilt at this point. And you can see those little birds are kind of sideways in the Bradford's Beauty blocks. You can see like right there. The only way to get those so that they are completely upright would be to cut that block on bias. And I didn't want to do that, so there we go. Now I'll put in a green border and then that floral print border, and then it'll be done. So I'm not going to work on that tonight. It's almost 10 o'clock and I have to work tomorrow, so I'm going to get ready for bed here. Besides, as tired as I am, I'm afraid I would probably really mess up. So, but there we go. That's what it's looking like at this point. Thanks for watching. For more quilting ideas, click on the video links. And to keep up with my latest projects, click on the subscribe button. I hope to see you again soon.